Oh, welcome, guys. So today we're going to talk about what motivates us. So these are just three simple steps to basically work through changing your motivations. And instead of building a life built on these lower emotions, you're going to build a life on higher ones. Now, I'll be honest, I made a video about this before, but it was entirely fuzzy and it just didn't work. I'm probably going to upload it because it's funny and hilarious to me. But this is the follow up to that. But you couldn't see anything, so this is just funny. So I'm teaching it again, and maybe I'll put the nonsense video. But anyway, here we go. I'm teaching it again. So these are the three steps to change your motivations. Identify what you're feeling, ask questions, and then follow up and honor what you learn. So the reason here is because in order to be motivated by peace, joy, and fulfillment, we have to follow rules, right? Or the law. And that's basically because the level of law which you obey and live will determine the level of life and reality you experience. That's simple, right? The level of law you obey and live is the level of law you will experience in your reality. That's simple as that. So in order to do that, there's rules, or how would you say, principles that we need to implement deeply into our lives. And in order to do that, we want to move into third degree awareness. So third degree awareness is basically when it's a simplified model of understanding. Check out the 7 degrees of consciousness or awareness that I have a video about it. And basically, it's the Universal Codex. And within the Universal Codex, to understand third degree law, you have to live from this basic model of spirit, mind, and body. Anything more than that creates unnecessary complication and confusion, which we don't need, right? We're trying to live peaceful, fulfilled lives. And so old wisdom dictates, let me redo this, old wisdom dictates that we have spirit, mind, and body. Now, in order to stay rooted here, most of the time when we are living in our body, we are in survival mode. Survival mode is going to make us run by fight or flight. It's going to be motivated by things like fear, shame, sense of loss, scarcity. This makes us very easy to control with those who have power. Desire is a really big one because it creates a sense of separation. And how all energy dynamics work is the energy that you invest in will be invested back into you in turn. And so what happens then is that the circumstances, let me put this down, the circumstances, relationships, and activities in your life, as well as your environment, will then reflect this vibration. So if you are harmonizing with a vibration of war, conflict, difficulty, stress, you are going to be in circumstances, relationships, activities, and an environment that supports that stress. And the minute you stop choosing to invest in that energy, eventually you will be lifted out of that circumstance. And I say very much lifted because life will kind of nudge you out of it. This is how universal dynamics work. God, and I say the universe, but basically other forces work in your favor to do that. There's a really cool book called Reality Transurfing where he calls this outer intention. And the basic idea is that as we place our awareness upon something, that's what shifts the reality. And this is why the experiment. I had a video, the 7-day challenge experiment, and go do that if you want to see this, because I think a lot of people take for granted the level of impact just shifting focus and energy and what that can do for your life. So if you look here, identify your feelings. This is the first step, because when we identify what we are feeling, we then know where we're at on the scale. And so it's super important that we need to understand, am I in survival mode? Am I in problem solving mode? Or am I in freedom and living mode? Right? Because if you are in freedom and living, so you're feeling peace, joy, and fulfillment, and you're feeling that consistently, that tells you that your baseline awareness is rooted at the very least in baseline third degree. Very few people are rooted in this. So even if you feel peace, joy, contentment, fulfillment all the time, you need to ask yourself, especially when you make certain decisions, or how consistently you're in there. Because sometimes we might feel this when we're watching a YouTube video or chilling at home or whatever. So this is where I ask you to be hyper present, is identify your feelings, and then ask yourself, why are you feeling this way within the moment? And while you're doing that, ask who is present. So that's always going to start with yourself, because you're the primary actor in your life. And fundamentally, you need to understand that you're drawing in and attracting whatever else is going on. And then obviously other people who are with you and next to you are an extension of that. So why are you feeling this way? Who is around you when you're feeling that way? Where are you when you're feeling this way? What were you doing? What is happening? What is going on? What is present? Just what? Just get very clear on the what. And then ask, when do you feel this way? When do you stop feeling this way? Get very clear on asking these questions. And what you're going to happen is you get very good at doing this and asking these questions. The nature of the questions will begin to change. And what we will naturally do is your energy, if it was pointing down, it will naturally start pointing up. Again, this isn't good or bad. It's just about directionality and what you want. And so as you start doing that naturally, because we are third degree beings, as we become aware and our awareness is set within our mind and not sat within the body, or the body is not being neglected awareness, eventually what will happen is we are going to start moving our awareness upwards. Now, if you struggle with identifying your feelings, the biggest thing is start with the basic feeling words, right? Go to like, am I feeling angry? Am I feeling sad? Am I feeling unhappy? Like, go to what you are feeling, because it's going to show up in your behavior. And if you are struggling with this, ask yourself where you feel a sense of pressure or a sense of sensation. Is it, if you just feel empty and hollow, that's a feeling. That's empty. That's a feeling, right? If you're feeling, oh, I feel like really, really nervous or really tight here, point to where you feel that on your body, and your body will give you an indicator of the next step you need to take and the nature of the questions you need to be asking. So comment down below if you have any questions about what exactly that means, or if just you're liking the video and you're making any sense. Hit the like and subscribe, it makes a big difference. So after we ask these questions, what we're going to do is we're going to start receiving answers from our environment, from the people around us. And then what happens is, as we ask these questions, we are going to follow up and honor what we learned. So for instance, if I learned the reason I feel stressed is because I'm at work, and I don't like who I am at work because I'm at work, and I'm doing the job that I hate, and I'm there every day and I hate it, then that tells me the reason I'm feeling stressed is because of work. So to follow up and honor, I can start asking, okay, well, what are some things that I can do and change the circumstances? When can I do this? Like, why am I not able to change it? And then you just do this, and then eventually you make a decision, right? So follow up and honor what you learn is about making a decision, right? And this is where, actually, I think this is mercy, grace, and justice. I think I actually got these mixed up, because this is definitely more graceful. And this is when we follow up and we honor what we learned. This is justice, where we start making the most of what we've learned. And by honoring these three laws, these are the three principal laws of the third degree awareness. As you honor, you're merciful with your feelings, you're graceful, so you give yourself the time and space to ask these questions and to identify what is happening. And then justice is following up and honor what you learned. So when you know, oh, hey, I'm feeling this way because I'm in a relationship. I don't like the girl I'm with. Where she's with me all the time, I can't stand it. What we're doing, when do I want to do it now? Then honor it. Honor what it is you're feeling. Honor what it is you've learned. And then when you do that, everything will come together and then you'll do it. But the most important thing is that you do need to follow up and honor what it is you learn. And if you don't honor and follow up and honor what you've learned, you're going to have difficulties. So that's the biggest issue right there. And so ultimately, this is the biggest obstacle to stepping away and changing our awareness, is just not understanding and living by these rules. But if you do these laws and these follow up, you will naturally start living in a place of peace, joy, and fulfillment. It is inevitable because it is your nature. And that is who you are. Anyway, that is the recap of the lesson. Not bad to teach it twice, but I hope that was helpful for you guys. Comment down below if you have any questions, as well as just comment down below and tell me how I'm doing. I'd love to feedback. I'd love to get something from this. Feel free to hit a link in the description if you'd like to know how to apply these principles in your own life, specifically for professionals who are struggling from burnout and would like to know how to live more fulfilling lives. I'm really interested in supporting you guys. So for a strategy session, look down below. For other things, you know where to find me. Hope all is well. Stay happy, stay healthy. Peace.